Welcome back to Varsity Sports Nation 2025 Baseball and Softball Media Day. We're here with Olympia High School, coached by Mike Daniels. Coach, go ahead and introduce yourself, and then, guys, introduce yourselves as well with your positions in your year.
Mike McDaniel.
Trace Furness, senior pitcher.
Robert Hoffman, senior shortstop.
Matthew Logan, pitcher and first base, junior.
Michael Colavecchio, senior outfielder.
Ethan Rathman, center fielder, junior.
Kingston Ebanks, sophomore, outfielder and pitcher.
Awesome. It's great to meet all of y'all. So obviously Olympia is known as a powerhouse program in the Central Florida area. How is this team different from the other teams in the past, Coach McDaniels?
Well, this team's got a special feel to it because, we're a little younger than we have been in the past, but talent level-wise, we're just as good as we've always been. A lot of these guys are committed to play at big schools, and they're also, potential draft guys. There's a couple of those guys on this roster that are, accustomed to the same things that we've always had at Olympia High School. It's kind of part of our culture. It's part of who we are. It's part of our neighborhood, basically. And for whatever the reason, the Metro West area is very rich in baseball throughout the years. Obviously, Olympia, West Orange, Dr. Phillips, and those schools. Windermere now is in the mix. So we've always had that on the west side. And fortunately for us, it's always been in black and silver and teal. So,
No, for sure. So when you talk about having a group of younger guys, how have you as like a coach been able to kind of coach them up, make them step into leadership roles as younger guys coming in, not necessarily senior leadership, but maybe some juniors and sophomores stepping up to become leaders?
Well, they know what the expectations are when they walk in the door as freshmen, and a couple of these guys had the opportunity to play right away as freshmen, but physically and mentally they aren't freshmen. They were prepared previously. Obviously there's feeder programs and stuff in the Orlando area now, which is a huge help for us because these kids grow up wanting to wear an Olympia uniform. They grew up wanting to be Titans. And so the relationship with them starts much sooner than being in ninth grade. And with the way kids are nowadays, they have all the trainers and all these things that they do. And physically, they start doing more at an earlier age than it was, in the past 10 years. And so they're capable. They just have to learn to be a part of the system, and the system that we have in place is pretty foolproof. And so it's just plugging in pieces of the puzzle, and these guys have fit it pretty well so far.
Guys, Coach talked about some of the expectations he has for you, high expectations, and you see it. You guys, a lot of you are committed to bigger schools. So what are some of those expectations that have really helped you become the athlete that you are today?
Some of the expectations he has is just like not to play for yourself. The big schools can just get in the way of knowing like who you are and you're part of a team. So we just got to learn to play together. And his expectations are just to be yourself out there, but just know that there's eight other of you out there just willing to play by your side.
Other expectations are the everyday things that are routine and the habits that we have to make out of it.
Anyone else? So obviously, with a lot of seniors that left last year, what is one thing that you guys as players need to do to fill those big shoes? Obviously,
as being a senior, it's just a leadership part. We had a strong group of leaders last year, and just to look up to them and watch what they did, just to repeat it this year, and imply some of your own leadership qualities. Just build confidence up in everybody, no matter if they're a freshman, sophomore, junior. Build the confidence up so they can become a leader whenever they feel comfortable enough and confident enough that they can lead a team.
Yeah, like what Trey said right there. It all starts with the seniors, and starting with them to teach the freshmen, sophomores, and juniors to step up and learn how to be in these situations.
As you guys said perfectly, it always starts with the seniors no matter what. Now, with the tough loss in the regional quarterfinals last year, what is one team or personal goal that each of you guys have as players?
We just expect greatness out of ourselves. We think that we could take this team very far, and wherever we can go, we can go. If everyone on the team does their part, we can go pretty far.
Talking about those team goals, what are some of the things you guys have been doing in the off season and the preseason to prepare to have a exciting and a productive season?
You know, just being with each other, you know, spending a lot of time learning how each other works, learning how our mental weaknesses, strengths, and, you know, just learning each other's personalities. So when we go out there on the field, it's just another day with the guys that you just are around 24/7. So when you're out there, it's not mostly feels like a game, but just feels like a brotherhood out there.
All right, so going off that brotherhood, talk about the team chemistry you guys have started to build for this team.
Our team chemistry is pretty amazing. I mean, we all love each other. We're all brothers. We're with each other every day, putting in the hours, putting in the work. And we're just all grinding together.
100%, 100%. It's always important to be close as a team. Now, this question's to Mr. Number 6 at the bottom, at the end there. So, Ethan, obviously you're committed to the University of Miami. How was that recruiting process for you, and how has that made you a better person and player?
I was very lucky and very fortunate to have been recruited at a very young age. But it was definitely a big accomplishment to get it done earlier. Now there's a bigger target on my back every time I step on the field, but it's just another day after that. So just excited for the future.
100% day by day. Always got to take it. Now this is to Coach Mack. You obviously have a great reputation around the area as an amazing coach. How have you been able to make an impact on your players and make them better people in general?
Let's be easy on that good reputation thing. I'm not sure about that sometimes. You know, my thing is this. You know, I think baseball is an avenue for us to build young men, and we talk about that a lot. Obviously, you know, I'm involved here at the high school level. I'm involved in the Florida Collegiate League, which has given me an opportunity to run the Winter Garden Squeeze. So a lot of these guys end up playing for me here, and then they end up playing for me again down the road. And that'll be the case this summer. So for me, it's about relationships. You know, it's about those things that you create as a coach and try to build them into young men. And yes, we want to win games, and you know, that's a big part of what we do. But I think if you're building the quality human and that man that you're trying to create, like the wins and losses take care of themselves. And, you know, 15 years from now, these guys, they'll remember the great times with this. They start families, you know, and one of the best things as a coach is when a guy calls you and says, "Hey, Coach, I'm getting married. Can you come to my wedding? Hey, Coach, I'm having a kid." That's good, you know, and we want these guys to go on and play in college and professionally and extend their careers as long as possible. And baseball is just an avenue that we use as a tool to create those relationships, because at the end of the day, I tell these guys, they look at me funny. I want them to be taxpayers someday, right? Like, yep. So when I get old, I got some Social Security or something, you know, hanging around. So I want them to be successful in life. And, you know, baseball teaches us so much every day. And with me, you know, at my age, I'm getting old now. You know, I used to think I was a young guy. I'm not young anymore. So it grows. And, you know, somebody sent me a text earlier this morning of a former player, and I said, man, I'm old. Because that guy was like 15 years ago, he was like running around a baseball field, and now he's a grown man, you know, running a business. And I'm like, man. So it's kind of surreal. It's one of those things where they know that they can always come to me. I'm hard on them, but my expectations are never going to change. They know that each and every day. You know, the expectation is for them to wake up every day and be excellent in everything they do and have great habits. You know, you always fall back to your habits in life and on the field. And so we talk about that on a regular basis. And, you know, my thing this year is I tell them every day, do the things you have to do so you can do the things that you want to do. And so that's kind of been our you know, motto this year in 2025. So it's you know, this is a blessing for me. It's a calling to be a coach. There's a lot of other things that people could do in life, but this is a calling, and it's something that I was put on this earth to do, I think.
Coach, kind of going off of that, you know, you want to build young men. What are some of those specific things you're instilling in these guys from a young age to build them up to be, you see these guys you've coached previously, accomplish things way beyond baseball. What are those specific things that you're instilling that off the field kind of things?
Well, discipline, and discipline isn't always punishment, right? And so having self-discipline and time management skills is important for a young kid, especially, academically now. Kids have to be better than ever because to get into a college or university, it is something that it's very competitive. It wasn't like when I was going to school, you get C's and get degrees like that. That don't work anymore. Okay, so, kids go to school now and they have to excel, academically. And they know that the expectation every day is excellence. And, there's a saying that's kind of cliche, but the standard is the standard. And that's something that we live by. And I don't know if I can say it on air, but I tell them every day you got to get up and be excellence, right? Like that, from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed, like the expectation is for you to be excellent. And we don't settle for anything less than that. And when you have that expectation, they meet it. We don't, as coaches and as our staff, we don't dummy it down. We make them rise up to what our expectations are, and that is just to be excellent and also be the best version of themselves. This is not cookie cutter. This is not robotic. This is something that each guy has their own individuality, and we allow them to do that as long as it fits within the framework of our system and within the framework of our culture and our team.
Guys, how cool is it and important to you that you have a coach who just cares so much about you guys individually, both on and off the field?
It's great because, when we're tired and we don't want to do it, we just look at our coach that wants to do it for us, and we're just like, let's do it for him. Let's do it for the coaches that come here tired, come here after some of our coaches work other jobs and they come here tired. When we're tired, we just look at them and be like, we're going to do it for them, not just ourselves.
Well, it was so amazing to have you guys on today, and we just wish you guys the best of luck during your season. And thank you guys once again.
Thank you for having us, and we look forward to a great 2025. Thank you to Rock Team Sports for hosting this today. They do a lot of our stuff. A couple of these beautiful uniforms up here they built, so thank them. And Coach Veritek, I still call him Coach Veritek. He's here, hosting this stuff with us, and so a lot of good guys. Mr. Bates is here as well. Legends on Deck downstairs have done some podcasts for us in the past. So thank you to all the sponsors. This is really cool, and we hope that this grows tremendously in the future.
Awesome. Thank you, guys, and good luck.
Thank you to our partners and sponsors who made Varsity Sports Nation Baseball, Softball, High School Media Day possible. Powered by Rock Team Sports, the official custom apparel provider of Varsity Sports Nation. Rawlins College Baseball Team. News 6, getting results. Trophy Sports Photos. Calzadia Media. Seminole Baseball Academy. Orange Observer. IOA Insurance Services. Legends on Deck Podcast. Russ Matt Baseball. Prospect Wire. Vertical Rays. And R2 Cares.